Ooh, I'm on. Why wouldn't I be? Nobody better not go run and tell JHOLIE's mother how cute I think she is. That's not a play on words. It's in fact a fact, right? As in a statement. There's no alteration in that. Not even a dress. As in a disclosed statement in me saying that. Taking a chance. I might in fact get a strike for that. As in what YouTube likes to do when you say stuff out your mouth. As in what you can and can't say. I'm saying even in a video format. Stuff coming down and all the rest, right? But JHOLIE's mother can in fact, yes, from my end, despite of me, what I said about what the daddy, because see, anytime a child ends up murdered or dead is to say one or the other, such as a parent, could have played a part in the mess, and yet I'm sensing maybe not pertaining to this situation involving JHOLIE herself. I don't think one of her parents did that. I could be wrong, but I'm sensing that more than likely didn't take place. That woman right there is in fact fine. She completely fine. If she wasn't married, is she married? Somebody call her and ask. That right there is something you might not want to say, but while I'm saying it, like, subscribe, yes, and the Discovery Channel, in which I work for, the Discovery Channel, they can forgive me on that as well, as in to be a real live human being and to say I in fact live within flesh myself pertaining to what I'm going to say, as in who don't want me to, oh well, on that JHOLIE's mother is in fact fine, as in fine as hell, as in a tail, right? But yes, like, subscribe, and the Discovery Channel, yes, the Discovery Channel, the link is in fact provided below. Oprah Winfrey link, the OWN network, I'm with them too. Under the umbrella Discovery Communications, Discovery Inc. Her link as well, Oprah Winfrey, her link is as well provided below. It is right in the description section. So let me see what I'm going to, because I'm going to have to sit here for a minute because I didn't know what I was going to say, and I'm like looking through my phone because the calendar keep going off pertaining to everything that I need to get done, right? But yes, JHOLIE's mother, I see where the twins get their beauty from. It's quite striking. That woman. Hello. How you doing, Miss Moussa? Not to disrespect. I'm sure she don't like women. People don't know about my sexuality, and yet that has to be stated as well, as in everybody's not going to be the same, as in even a preference of what you like and get down and all that other stuff, right? That shows I'm real. That needs to be noted, as in said, the call out on my end of what I can be when ain't nobody around, right? And possibly when they are. So let me close this out because this is going to slow down my internet. To have too many devices, 5 or 6 devices, all using up Wi-Fi at one time, is to say we might in fact stop the train over on my end, as in a no-go. The wheels might in fact halt on my end. I got like a whole bunch of stuff going on over here, let me tell you. So control. Dear Janet Jackson and a team as well. Don't ask me about that. But yeah. Control. And I don't mean a album. Didn't I say that before in one of my other JHOLIE albums? When I mentioned Janet Jackson, look at that. You see that? On my hat. That's a logo as well. But yeah, so when I ask about control, and I don't mean an album, as in record sales and all the rest pertaining to a BMI, right, in which I serve as well. I'm connected to them as well. I'm connected to a lot of things, industry, in which I don't say. But control, the aspect pertaining to a relationship such as a ex-boyfriend. A miscommunication in that. The ex-boyfriend, restraining orders, passports, being restricted by say a judge to not have contact, you're being an ex-boyfriend and you're wanting to anyway. Control. There's various videos being made by JHOLIE. The young child is dead, and it breaks my heart to know and even see that. myself. Shouts out to Cece. Where you at, Cece? I see ya. I see ya. Yes, I do. I was gonna say I see ya, but I don't. But I, in fact, once I upload this, we gonna see in the communication as well. Me and Cece talk back and forth like we've been knowing each other for years, and yet we should, because Cece know how to talk. As in, to play the game is to play it right. There are so many haters, Jolie's friends. They don't do stuff right. But and that's got the lovely woman. She is so fine. She is completely fine. Shouts out to whoever is with her, father, husband, daddy, whoever. He got gold on his hands right there, the mother. So I feel her pain in that, as in that's a hurtful thing. That almost made me cry last night when I was thinking, to break somebody's heart is to completely break it all the way, such as a mother having twins, knowing that's a gift from God itself. A gift from God or the universe, whatever source, to believe with her. That breaks my heart every time I see it, because she has such a beautiful face, and yet to see it in tears is to know the woman is in fact in pain. And she has to be, because to have twins, yes, to have twins and you give birth to them, right, your womb, and have both of them in your arms as soon as they make their way out of the womb, that's the twinship in itself is a gift. I'm thinking it has to be the twinship. And so a mother, the endurance of that, as in the pain aspect, that's got to be the worst feeling. Because that's not to say that a twin life is more valuable than, say, any other body's life. That's not to say that, but there's something marvelous and cute about twins. You see them in the family. It's something different. It's that aura of sharing everything, and the connection aspect where they like to do anything and everything pertaining to be twins, as even when they dress alike. And the mother loving to do that sort of thing. Anybody in the past ever check out their father? I can't even pronounce his name. Their father, in fact, had a YouTube account right here on YouTube pertaining to when the kids love to sing and all that. Yes, they in fact love to sing and all that other stuff together. And so for a mother to play her part in that is to possibly have been the one to film it, or maybe the dad, and yet to carry a set of twins. There's all type of individuals that wish they could have twins, and yet they can't. But to have a set of twins and then lose one in the process, that's the, God forbid, most hurtful thing. And then to have that twin right there be left behind, that it's so much sorrow and grief behind that. And it has to be. But the control aspect, I could be wrong. I just focus a lot on the ex-boyfriend. Maybe it was somebody else, and I said that how many times. And yet I think with the mother, I do and I don't want to speak too much on her, because I would hate to hurt her feelings even more. She is too adorable. But I would hate to hurt her feelings even more, as in me dragging her back and forth in this, despite her already being in the mess, right? And her not saying stuff because she possibly don't want to even lose her own life. But somewhere around this, I be sensing that the mother could possibly know who have did what, right? But for her to be having to fly in town, as in to come from out of state to come into town where the twins were, where they were to begin with, the mother flying, taking a flight to come into where the twins were, and the one twin losing her life, right? That's to say she was herself a little bit a ways away, as in the not knowing. You can be a mother, not say who you think have did what, right? And yet you know something, but it's still something about, even with the mother, it just, she don't, because people, when they say, I myself know that parents, in fact, we all know that parents are known to kill their own children. Yes. And yet when people question, well, maybe the mother could have, no, I don't think so, because I can see into that it's too much grieving there with that mother. It's completely there's too much heartbreak and anguish to see through a picture as is to see and read through, work in mass media and see through stuff. That face right there. Mommy had nothing to do with that. Mommy might be keeping some secrets because she might not want to be killed herself, but mommy had nothing to do with that. But the control aspect, when the twin came out her mouth and said this is not her doing, such as her other half, that twin right there, when she stated this is not Jolie's doing, and then she mentioned control, and everybody was like, well, what is she talking about? Her. She said control. Everybody wants to know what the control is. More than likely, the control is an ex-boyfriend, and it has to be. It has to be. I keep sensing around all this that nobody else did it, as in placed their hands on that child, on her enough to kill her. But the ex-boyfriend, control. And when it comes to the news coverage pertaining to, say, the white woman Peggy Fox guiding the family, as in what to say and what not to say, more than likely she would do that because she is a real journalist. Yes, she is Peggy Fox. You see her face everywhere, right? She interviewed, but people was asking, well, why would she guide them and talking? She needs to shut up. No, she needs to, in fact, guide them. She does, in fact, need to take the floor somewhat because, see, the family was grieving enough to start saying any and everything out of their mouth pertaining to who might have did what, but they might have went long overboard, overdrawn, as in given too much information pertaining to the identity of police not being able to lock up the guy who did it, right? Peggy Fox, that white lady with the blonde hair. The family had to be guided and sane without actually saying who it actually was. Even if they think and consider it was an ex-boyfriend, a journalist or somebody on the camera from a news crew and newsroom had to put the story together, and possibly within the four walls of the home as they were sitting there doing it, right? Doing that sort of thing is to say you might want to, in fact, direct and guide the flow of the conversation, you being a journalist. Because, see, the family might could have said anything, yes, on the camera, which may or may not have been edited out. Because, see, to do something live is to know you really can't really go back and fix it. I'm saying if you're doing something, see, people like to live stream, they like to do all type of stuff, but once it's out there, it's out there. There's no way to really go back and say edit that sort of thing unless you try to download it, or say set it to private, download it. That take too much work. To live stream something is to say you gotta, in fact, be a real journalist and guide the conversation. It has to be done. Anytime one of them might got on the camera and said something, and they should be able to talk freely. We in the public are real human beings, and adults should be able to take that sort of thing. But a news crew wouldn't want that sort of thing to happen, because anything can happen on their end, as in their life possibly being lost, such as a news crew and them getting involved, helping with the story or whatever, which is why journalists sometimes want to do that sort of thing. Control the flow of the conversation, because not only would that help the journalist to be able to allow the public to see through what could have happened, as in the journalist possibly may have told Jolie's twin to say that control was there. Remember, they talked before they got and did the live stream. More than likely, they just repeated everything over so it could be recorded for you, the public, to see. So I'm thinking somewhere in this, the journalist might have, in fact, told Jolie's twin to say control. Because Jolie's twin possibly told her in the first place to begin with. And so the journalist probably told her to repeat it. Again, because they, in fact, do that on the Oprah Winfrey. They used to do that on the Oprah Winfrey show. And yet behind the scenes pertaining to even Oprah today, that sort of thing still goes out. Yes, it goes on today. in relation to anything Oprah Winfrey when you work behind the scenes and do stuff for her. To stand in line is to know, as in what I've been involved in, right? I'm saying when you set up shows and all that other stuff, even in the live coverage of journalism and live streaming it, you got to know what right words to say, as in what not to say. That's in fact a true statement. Because to do a live stream and then go in and set the video to private, is to say somebody can see it, as in the public wanting to watch it, but then they can't whatever, right? If they see you upload it and then something set to private, is to say you might in fact have something to hide. They're journalists in journalism, right? And so to allow it to stay up is to let the public actually see that video as it is, instead of letting the public see it sitting there, then setting it to private where they can't see, to download it, to edit it, cut out whatever pieces, and then re-upload it again. That's too much work and too much time. And depending on the internet, as in how fast it run, your broadband or whatever you got, and Wi-Fi, it's to say your internet might be slow. It might take too long and upload. And so why do all the work in that? Why not just control the flow of the conversation, as in take the floor and be a real journalist and do that? And that's more likely what that white lady individual, Peggy Fox herself, if that was her, that's possibly why she did that. Telling them what the family to say and what not to say, because anything can come out of somebody's mouth while didn't I just say that? Live coverage, live whatever, anything can come out of somebody's mouth. And then you're doing that could send somebody in a drive-by coming to shoot up the house while the live journalist or whoever else is there. They try to prevent all that. That part they don't say, but they try to prevent all that. The hassle, as in get caught up while they're standing in the four walls of a house doing something live, and say somebody see it on the TV, roll through and then pull out whatever on the drive-by. So journalists, they try to stay away from all that, as in remain detached, telling family what to say and what not to say. Because journalists have in fact lost their lives on camera as stuff was being shot live. There was a journalist that in fact lost her life. I think it was an ex-lover or boyfriend, something like that, came and killed her right in front of while they was recording. That's sad in itself. But yeah, the control aspect, that has to be an ex-lover. It always is. Controlling. And what you can't get away from. And the reason why, and I stated that in my last video. I stated when I said about JHOLIE's stalker ex, that video is in fact on my YouTube account. I'm gonna share this video on all accounts. I recommend you do the same, because even her story needs to be out as an aired. It's not enough of her. But I don't want to keep what is it, reiterating. My words get jumbled as well. You gotta forgive me in the tongue twisting aspect, but I don't want to go over the same thing in which I made, which is why I mentioned that video to begin with, JHOLIE's stalker X, because this tie into the control aspect of what they were trying to say. The controlling, and how a stalker X will try to take over your whole world with that and kill you. That's all I was saying. This is the answer back on the control. So let me see. Because the mother would possibly know. I said I didn't want to hurt her feelings too much. I don't. But the twin might in fact, she has to know, somebody in the family has to know who was in control. Which is why JHOLIE is possibly dead. Because that other individual couldn't face their own self. Whoever killed her couldn't face their own control issues. Which is why it got out of line, and the violent tendency going off and possibly snapping her neck or something. People do things like that. I wonder in what type of form and fashion. I should contact police myself. I got that right. I do. As in trying to find out pertaining to the way the DNA lane aspect of, say, JHOLIE. how her body, as in the process of how somebody kill you, the markings on the body, because see, that tells as well. If there was too many blows or anywhere on the body, as in on the child's face, on the child's arms, on the child's legs, bite marks, burn marks, any type of anything, that's to show an abusive ex could have did that as well. Because he's leaving a marking behind, is what I'm trying to say. He's marking his territory, which is why he has control issues to begin with. An abusive ex, abusive boyfriend, whatever, has control issues enough to leave a sign there. A sign of some kind. Even in getting away. I mean, getting rid of you while they're getting away, right? They leave signs behind. All kind of signs. That's why I had questioned the father, if he was the biological father or whoever he was to JHOLIE, stepfather, biological father with the markings under the eye. His identity is questioned. I lean more, it's not trying to play favoritism, but I lean more on the side of the mother as well as the twin. But I did say, if the ex has something to do with this, then in fact that father should in fact put the ex-boyfriend to death. I said that in fact had needed to be stated. To get rid of killers and serial killers is to get rid of them, yes, completely. And possibly never even sane. Dear Oprah Winfrey, she can take that as well. Oprah Winfrey, I'm saying, she takes a lot of things. Oprah done took a lot of, there's industry secrets, there's all type of things that you in fact want to keep to yourself in the survival aspect of you're not telling, even though you're being an Oprah Winfrey, right? That is in fact a truth. No soft spoken that, but the father, let me see, man, how would I word this? There has to come a day where a takeout needs to be considered. And I don't mean a bag of food. I don't mean any of that. No delivery of no food, drop off, no nothing. A takeout completely, as in a gone, in a rush. And I don't mean an assembly line neither. Pertaining to this ex-lover. Control, because see, abuse stood somewhere right around this family, and I can sense that. I was coming in my bedroom. Yes, I was. As well as walking through the kitchen. Yes, I was. As in going outside to see how, yes, windy it was, cold it was, hot it was. And something just kept blanking over and over in my mind. Abuse stands close enough to the family. And it did. And it's still living somewhere around that area. Abuse. I said before, I don't think it was JHOLIE's father, no. I hope JHOLIE's mother was never abused on by any man herself. I'm hoping that. Women sit, and I stated that on one of my other missing children videos. Women sit and they endure abuse of all kinds, right? Father, stepfather, but I keep sensing that's still not him. The father. Because people, they say, well, maybe the father's a suspect. I thought that was, when I first seen his eye, I was like, dang, man, what? Because see, parents are known to knock the kid upside the head when the kid get the disrespecting. Even if a kid wanted to go meet up with an ex-boyfriend that the parent might not have wanted the child to be involved with. A loving parent can knock a child upside the head or something like that, and then whatever, the child hit back or something. I was like, no, that don't seem right. That's not right. That's not. I don't think the parents had anything to do with this. I'm saying they do and they don't. They do in a fashion of if a father went to go knock the boy's lights out pertaining to the control aspect, then that part they play. And yet I said I would just kill everything off. If I had a child, I would. Dear Discovery, good evening. We are right here on CNN News, breaking on the coverage. And yet we're not, because see, no, that don't happen. I wish somebody would, even my mother, get with somebody, or even my mother's sister get with somebody, and even my brother, but he's man enough to help. I will kill everybody off that's standing, and then let me tell you, smile in the mug shot, right? I'm saying the aspect of somebody beating on this end. Kill somebody off myself, smile in the mug shot, and then possibly put that logo of Discovery in my mugshot with me, just to let Discovery know to air my story, and constantly air it as well, because that's a no-go. That's what I'm saying with the family pertaining to say a father, whoever playing a part. That's what I'm thinking as far as it go. The father aspect of him getting himself, and I stated that in the last video, involved. That's as far as it go, as in him say playing a part, as in his eye and him being suspect as people question, right? I don't think the father was having sexual relations with, because see, you want to ask that too. Well, could the father with the eye be messed up, and say him tracking and backlogging her calls, as in her Jolie's, he was keeping tabs on everything. I stated that in my last video. Him keeping tabs of Jolie's whereabouts, as in who was calling her and why, and him tracking that back to his iPad and his MacBook laptop or some Apple laptop, right? He was keeping tabs on that, right? And he should, if abuse was there. I stated that. But I don't think that man with that gash under his eye was molesting that girl or none of that, or raping her or none of that. I don't think so. That don't look like that could be one of the cases in this. The case stands too still to control an ex-boyfriend. It always has. That part the family is not saying. That twin, to be precise. She knows she has to. She does. Control. This is what happens when control gets out of line. Didn't I say that? This video is for all them young girls that have miscommunication with their men, boyfriend, or troll, or whatever you want to call it. This is exactly what it comes to, and I stated that in my last video as well. And yet this video, why am I creating this video? As Oprah like to call, state what your intention is. We're 28 minutes in, to be precise. Why am I stating that? As in me recycling what I stated in the story of the last story of my last video I just uploaded. This video, I'm saying everything because this video must stand at its own, yes, his own title. To title a few shows is to give its own, like Oprah Winfrey like to call it, its own. To bring a definition in and say it, despite me making that last video about the stalker exes, to say I need to say it again pertaining to the control issue of it being there. And answering everybody on that, the control. Which is why the title of this video is Control. Yes, in fact. Janet Jackson herself stated that the control issue of her ex and his abusive ways, which is why she's on tour speaking about it as in against that sort of thing. Janet Jackson, if you don't know where she's at, find her, and that's the logo, hello, with even that. Go look for her. I'm saying. There is, that just is too deep. That is off the hook. control. I think that's all to be. Yeah, I had to stamp this video with his own thing, because that's not going to work. To have something stand out is to have it stand all the way out. As in, you're placing an etch there, as in sketching something out to replace it and then put a name to it. That's how you do stuff. Working in mass media marketing, your average individual don't know and understand that. They don't. Let me look into some stuff. I'm doing it like we on a Sunday. Yet ain't no. I'm doing stuff like we on a Sunday. How I'm sitting here chilling and yet ain't no Sunday school involved on my end. It ain't. Let me say. I likes to, when I get on stuff, I likes to chill and be laid back. As in be pronounced, as in cool. As in what you need to be, right? And how you need to be sometimes on camera, laid back. Despite me going off at times, and I should, because I can be reckless at that. As in who needs to die. Because see, if JHOLIE was one of my family members, don't let me say it, I'll say it again. That young gentleman would have in fact gotten killed by the hands of me. And I'm suspect on even that, as in where I'm saying pertaining to somebody, if they... I stated my cousin, didn't I? If JHOLIE was my baby cousin, that man would be dead right now. And a father wouldn't even have to have no play in saying that, because I would have killed him off myself. Dear Friday the 13th, I see you. I just want to look at something right quick. You got recommended videos. Let's chill back right quick. I would turn some music on, but I don't want to, get no strike on that. Dear YouTube, holla back on the program. YouTube don't like to have fun. YouTube don't. It doesn't at all. Possibly because all the lames done fucked it up. That could possibly be that. This should be a disclaimer of me saying, if you got children in the room, you might want to in fact call them out by putting them out by what the stuff I love to say, as in when I'm on here and what I'm going to say. And I ain't alterating shit and that. As in, eat a pile of dog shit if you want me to. Eat a pile of dog shit if you want me to, because I'm not. No, we are grown men and women on here. I'm usually a laid back person, right? Just enough that when I talk, I in fact sound monotone. When I talk monotone, because see, there's a tonality even in your telling stories about death. You in fact should not be playing games such as cracking jokes and all the rest. When you tell somebody's story, you should in fact sound a little bit more lifeless. As in not a jumping factor, as in when I can get hyper at times and saying stuff that is really not supposed to be there, right? But I do it anyway, because this is my playground and not theirs. A hater. Hey. That's me getting in all the way in, as in a fit in on that, as in the signs are telling what I just said. Yes. This right here, this is me all day. As in, I know when to pick with people, as in when to fuck with them, as in when it's not so gentle. They get sick at the heart. Let me tell you, when I be saying stuff, that's funny. I'm saying you should be seeing the laughter that I present to myself when I go back and play some of my videos of where I went off on a rant tangent and how funny it be. The laughter aspect, it be cracking me even up dead. It does. Where is Lieutenant Joe Kenda? Come on, baby, where you at? Because he's number one. Lieutenant Joe Kenda, people literally be walking around looking for him. Lieutenant Joe Kenda. I say that name multiple times a day and not one. Where he services Discovery. Yes, he does. Lieutenant Joe Kenda. Jolie's mom and dad might in fact want to get even him on their team. Solving Lieutenant Joe Kenda, because he's prime at what he does. Prime time. The boy is bad. To march in line is to rise above the rest. This is Lieutenant Joe Kenda, in case you never knew what he looked like. I got my bell turned off on my Discovery family. That's no hate involved, my family, right? I got the bell turned off because I need OWN to come in. Yes, I do. Remember, I serve all. Oprah Winfrey, yes, I do. As well as Discovery, yes, I do. Everybody must be solved, as well as resolved on the end of mine, right? And so I got too much coming in, because see, where's my phone at? Hell, I got so many around here, I just tend to lose them. I wish a loser would in fact fall out of line with that. Many of them. Where's my other phone? See what I'm saying? I got one right here, ding dong. One right here, bing bong. Anybody remember that joke when I said I should name my phone and stuff after my future wife, husband, wife, and other wife? I kid you not. What I ain't saying. This phone right here, because it's big, I should name this one Stedman. Stedman Graham. Oprah Winfrey's other half. There he go right there. Shouts out to Stedman. When I said nobody sees Stedman, there's in fact a reason behind that. Oprah is not trying to lose her man for nobody. That's why you don't see Stedman Graham. She ain't trying to lose her man, no. Even in that. So, this should in fact be titled, the phone I'm saying, Stedman Graham. And the other one should in fact be titled Gayle King. Yes. I would title it Favorite Son and Favorite Daughter, like Gayle King likes to do, right? But that's not going to, that's not going, because see, I don't have no kids, and yet the phone possibly would be considered that, right? And then, yes, my pad as well. It's all jacked up. I got military tape myself on it, right? There's another one in here too. Pad. You just can't see it. I'm sitting on it, to be exact. Did anybody catch that? As in when women have not premenstrual. Is that a word? Premenstrual. Am I saying that right? Menstruation. That's in fact human as well. For the people who can't take it, they need that fly off too. Fly off. As in fly off on my end. Because to be a heavy, bold, scientific figure such as myself and be womanly and masculine is to say no prissiness. From here on out, there's going to be no prissy or nothing involved on my stuff. Because there needs to in fact be more women working in the STEM, such as not a stem cell, but pertaining to the research aspect of scientific nature, and you're standing up, standing bold, and standing proud. STEM stands for, what does STEM stand for? STEM in fact stands for the sciences, technology, engineering, as well as mathematics. That's what that stands for, STEM. Yes, it does. When I see, there's a reason why when people say, well, why do you do that? Why do you call out women not needing to say stand there putting on makeup and get to work in the field of they should, pertaining to a STEM? Cause see, the way that I call out some of these women as gentle, I'm in fact doing that for a reason. To sit on a platform of discovery is to say those sort of individuals need to be called out. This is in fact Lieutenant Joe Kenda. As in, hello, Jolie's family. I know you're there. I can see you. Possibly or maybe not, but in fact, once I get done with this upload, is the fact they might see this video. They need to know who Lieutenant Joe Kenda is in case they want to get into contact with even him. To help solve a case is to do just that, as in where there was miscommunication issues, or where in the beginning where the child was considered a runaway because of her age, and yet she wasn't a runaway. There's always some type of issue pertaining to that. There could be solve and resolve on that. Dear lovely lady up above, I'm saying, the queen. She's a queen herself. Yes, she is. Let me let it go. So, Lieutenant Joe Kenda would in fact help solve and resolve stuff like that, because that is his thing. I'm sure he possibly backed up pertaining to a Rolex, not a Rolex, a Rolodex, a Rolex as well when it comes to pinpointing time, as in you're having a backlog of individuals of who's waiting in line to possibly be serviced, as in you're being Joe Kenda and trying to serve the public, getting involved, helping solving cases. Should I bring up Lieutenant Joe Kenda in a Google search so that you can see how many cases he has in fact solved? That's a mystery in itself, as in when he don't receive enough coverage outside of working. Yes, with Discovery, Lieutenant Joe Kenda is a beast. He might in fact put you to death as well, as in a hater. A few of them. You never know people's connections with that. I don't even tell my own connections, and yet I should. Maybe that would help some people to get a job. I'm the type of person I would help people get a job pertaining to industry, but don't be fake with me, as in where I can help you get in and stuff like that, and don't turn against me, as in don't cut me by knifing me in the throat on some hate type of stuff, as if we fall out or something like that, right? Don't do. I'm a very helping individual. I help all the people that I want to help, as in the right people, and possibly the wrong people by scooting them out my life. I said that how many times, right? But I do in fact help people when they need to be helped with stuff and opportunities. And one of the reasons I have been known not to say help people with the industry, as in getting jobs, is because sometimes people don't know how to keep stuff. Hell, I myself don't know how to keep stuff with this mouth. And yet people be wanting me to be their brand ambassador pertaining to celebrity stuff, right? Because of my mouth. But they at times would want to correct me. And they have, right? As in me saying, no, that's a no-go. That is not going to work, which is why I'm not there being a brand ambassador for them. But more so for a corporation. Oh, my bracelet is right there, by the way. But that's why sometimes when it comes to say somebody wanting me to help them, I'm not saying on YouTube, and I'm not saying CC, but other individuals, when it comes to that, because some people won't hang on to the job, as in when you get them something, right? They do stuff to lose stuff, and not only that, they try to mess up your opportunities as they're doing it. To want to be in the industry and help people in is to know how to treat people. And I said that I don't always, but I can get on anybody's celebrity platform and run their platform even when they're not there doing it. Because see, some of these celebrities in fact have assistants that help them. You just don't know who's doing it, as in who's running their Twitter account. And that celebrity in fact is not sitting there making those posts. I stated this before. I out certain information to certain individuals that can in fact take that sort of thing, and yet not everybody can. Some people in fact don't know how to take the secrets, which is why secret societies in fact exist in the industry as well. Sometimes when somebody's sitting on their Twitter, it's in fact not that celebrity. It's in fact somebody else working for them, such as their personal assistant. That's a truth in regulation. Because see, a celebrity can't just be working their world And then a celebrity can't, that's a no-go. That's not going to work. You can't be a huge celebrity, big celebrity, say on your end, gotta do interviews or gotta do this or gotta do that, right? Needing to be seen all over the TV or even in interviews, on radio interviews, whatever, doing everything. Possibly magazine covers. There's all type of things, not Oprah, but I'm speaking on just celebrities, period. They can't be everywhere being everything to everybody and then also run their Twitter account as well. They in fact have to have a personal assistant there. And possibly multiple personal assistants. Some celebrities sometimes have 3 or 4 people doing things for them. And sometimes those individuals are in fact in the family. Yes, they are. When I got to, I paused for a second because I stated how one of my family members is in fact on NBC on TV. I'm not going to say her name. I said that how many times, right? But might need to get in contact on a thing of, say, me, when it comes to how you need to set stuff up with your blood relatives, as in you're helping doing a personal assistant thing on the game of that, where I might need to get in contact with even her on that. Me being a personal assistant to celebrities, right? Because what you do is you get on there and you don't say, look, hi, it's me, Aviva Films. No, you don't do that. You in fact act as if you are the celebrity. Some people don't know that. The game of the industry, when you actually, and it's a lot of power in that, as in a Powerball. You're sitting behind a celebrity, though they're not there, and you're actually running their account. Because to hold millions of people in your hand and you being a personal assistant to somebody and you're being on their account and it's their official Twitter or whoever, Facebook or whatever, it's to say you can and can't say anything out your mouth, because even that is public relations. As in what you're going to do damage and possibly impose damage when you're saying it. Even if Oprah Winfrey herself has somebody, and she possibly does, I'm not going to say that, pertaining to there is individuals even on the Facebook, and I'm not going to mention about that, as in who's running what and why, what they can and can't say, as in you put a little bit there saying to somebody to shut up, and yet you say it how Oprah would in fact say it. That may or may not be any of the celebrities running there, because you got to always have a team of people, team players that play proud, loud, and all the rest, and them doing that under your name and it being an official account. Lieutenant Joe Kenda. Let me go down right quick. Lieutenant, if I can remember, Lieutenant Joe Kenda, or did I just see that too? Lieutenant Joe Kenda, he in fact solved over 92% cases. 92% of cases he solved. 92% of cases the man has solved. Did you hear me? Lieutenant Joe Kenda. Colorado Springs Police Department. Dear Moussa family, JHOLIE Moussa to be exact. Colorado Springs Police Department. He's a real lieutenant and not a fake one on the job. That needs to be known as well as exposed. And what he plays, yes, when it comes to documentaries and all that, Lieutenant Joe Kenda, the homicide hunter. That's so you know. It airs on Investigation Discovery ID. There's some ID addicts out there. Hell, there might be in fact some sitting watching my video by the time I place this, because where I place my videos, there is in fact individuals that work for Discovery as well. When I place this out, they're going to in fact see. Hold on. He solved over 387 cases. Didn't I just say that? Lieutenant Joe Kenda solved in fact over 387 cases. Crime cases, murders, suicide. She got all type of stuff that he done solved. That's in fact the percentage of 92%. To call out this man is to say I just did it right, and I should. That's how you do that. And Lieutenant Joe Kenda, in fact, has fans as well. Yes, he does. As in, when people need him, they go to him. As in, females, they love Joe Kenda. Even he ain't saying. It's ladies that love Kenda. The seasons, do you see that? It will show you the seasons. This is all his little database. Wikipedia is not always precise, and yet to get it right on him is to do it precisely so. Lieutenant Joe Kenda. Oops, wait. I'm in fact going to sit on this camera as long as I can. There's no money to be made in that and this, and it shouldn't be, because victims, right? And yet I like to chill on the camera because I'm prone to look up anything, even while I'm doing missing children videos, right? Because see, to do that sort of thing, as in a sit on camera, that's a field mark. I'm saying the research. To sit on the camera for hours on end and just let a child, as well as her mother and the crime scene and all that, is to say you can stand and look at that, right, as I'm doing whatever. But I don't know. This is like a discovery offline, because see, we got we in fact, yes, have discoverythecrimefeed.com, but to go offline, as in to go off air, and yet still be on YouTube, is to say that is what I like to do. Go through stuff. Go through records. Go through files. Go through this. Go through that. So I'm just getting started in that. Am I done? When it come, are you questioning that? I can't hear y'all out there. Are y'all questioning that? Possibly so. When it comes to me speaking on JHOLIE, that aspect is, yes, it's completed, as in done, but not done all the way, just pertaining, no, not done like that. But I'm saying this video has in fact ended out pertaining to her aspect, her end, right? But I'm gonna keep going, not in this video though, pertaining to the young child's story and me questioning further. So if you want to sign off in that, if you want to leave in that, you can. I'm sure somebody possibly have left already, as in them signing off and away from this video 5 minutes in to the video. Lieutenant Joe Kenda, let me show you something. Lieutenant Joe Kenda, his face is right there. But he has also questioned, yes, the John Benet Ramsey case. That's why I'm showing him off. That's why it helps to be on a good team. Being a good team player is what I'm trying to say, when you connect the dots, even in showing people off. Outside of somebody other than yourself. And what this man has done. My dog is going in, ain't he? I can't get no type of nothing when it comes to my dog in his mouth. I might in fact need to pause. Hold on. Because I can't deal with that. That messes up my creative potential, and having a dog go at the mouth. Lieutenant Joe Kenda. As in we about to stop this mouth. And I don't mean punch upside the head with the dog. No, not that. Never that. But I might in fact need to muzzle him down, because I can't think. Angel of Death. And somewhere in this I'm going to, because I changed stuff so much, sooner or later in this I'm going to have to come in with the sound, as in bring some sound in Is this on? Did I see that where it says subscribe? I thought I had already. Possibly because, see, I had multiple YouTube accounts. It could be because I'm subscribed on the other account. That more than likely is what that is. To have too many accounts is to be everywhere and yet not say. Crime creepers. Let me pause like I said I was. Let me pause out right quick because the video will run and yet I in fact need to check this dog. I do. Hey! You hear that? All that racket. Let me get him right quick. Nope, you stay. Man, that is in fact what you like to call silent treatment. I can hear him still somewhat. I had to put a muzzle on him. Matter of fact, the muzzle I put on him, I might want to put on myself from time to time. The dog, I'm saying. You gotta quiet that because, see, I can't even hear myself even process an Amber Alert on my end pertaining to a dog wanting to just be flipping out any time of the day. He does that, and yet he was never properly trained from birth. My dog, I'm saying, and how he gets to yapping because he's a Yorkie, and Yorkies are known and prone to do that, as in be going off and flipping in the random. Why are you doing that? Come on, man. I'm not going. My dog, I don't beat him or anything like that. He don't like his muzzle. So anything a dog don't like, I in fact provide to him to upset him. Because he will, yes, he would in fact check himself on that end. And possibly check out, as in go to sleep over time, as in him knowing, well, I got this muzzle on, there's nothing I can do about it. So that's the end to be said about that. But yeah, this is some Lieutenant Joe Kenda's work. There's no volume, as I stated. There's none at all. And yet there's in fact a visual for you to see. Self-defense. These is something good. Crime. Who out there loves crime shows? I know I do. Not everybody can take a crime show because they be like, oh, that might in fact. You know what? Last night, when I mentioned Pet Cemetery, that's not speaking on my dog. That's not a joke, right? But I was gonna in fact watch Pet Cemetery, and I think I might do that. Pet Cemetery after I watch, or after I get done possibly even watching my own video after I upload it to make sure it's right. But yeah, Pet Cemetery, like, I don't know, like I remember the old movies, Friday the 13th, you had Michael Myers and Halloween. I might watch that too, even though I said I really don't watch that type of stuff no more the older I get, and yet the thrill is gone. Dear BB King, and yet for some unknown reason I be wanting to bring the thrill back. And I don't mean a wax figure in the form of, what's the word for it? Yeah. I was gonna say, when I was thinking of Michael Jackson, how they had, because even Oprah got that, when they had these wax figures and all this other stuff, and yet it looks like a horror type of thing, horror house. To have a wax figure made out of a celebrity or anything like that, right, is to say that horror, yes, horror stands in that. As in when a person has died, been laid to rest or whatnot, and they're famous or something, and you make a wax figure out of them, right? That's why I was saying about Thriller, bringing the thrill back, like in old movies, because even that adds spice to your life when it's old films such as that. Halloween H2O. Didn't LL Cool J play in that Halloween H2O? I think he did. But it seemed like the more, like nowadays in 2018, you can't really do too much of Halloween because it's not right. I'm saying the game aspect pertaining to even a Halloween movie nowadays, it just, those type of things back in the day was a real art form. You're making movies such as a Halloween H2O. Let me type that up in the Google search right quick. Or not YouTube. Not Google. Because see, those type of things, in fact, situations have in fact taken place. That's how you get a movie going to begin with. To create a Halloween is to know something like that. I'm hoping, as I go into this video, I'm hoping JHOLIE's mother, father, whoever is off my video by now, as in me, yes, going further, as in walking further, as in what we need to say, because I'm about to get gruesome on even that gruesome, pertaining to films, Hollywood films, in depth and all that. It's real life situations that have played out and all that, as in how you have a Halloween movie, right, that has followed after some stories that have taken place. Real life stuff like that have happened, which is where the inspiration come from, and you're making a movie and yet not making it funny. That's why the very first Halloween movies was so scary, and yet the ones in 2018 are not so. This movie right here, and that's not the shootout, to have a shootout. Hopefully we ain't gonna start that, a shootout with Universal Pictures, but a Halloween movie like this in 2018 is to say laughter could be there, as in a funny aspect, whereas way back in the 1980s when we watched these type of movies, there was no laughter there. You was in fact scared to go to bed at night, and when you did, possibly even wet the bed, because you was too terrified to go to sleep after seeing what you done saw being depicted in a film such as one of these. This movie would more than likely not scare me in 2018. It would not. And yet the Halloween, did it come back in 1970s? I was almost there. 1978. Can we see, let's watch a trailer of Halloween. Cause at night I was too terrified to even go upstairs to my room. I'd fall asleep in the middle of the living room, and my granny would be screaming and hollering at me for me to go to bed after I done took the chance to watch this movie. I would literally be in tears, as in crying, terrified to go upstairs to go to bed. Yeah, so for a time period I had to stop watching movies like this, because I didn't know how to take them even on my end. As in, when it's time to go to sleep, good night, cut all the lights out, and then be looking around you to trying to see, to make sure there's no ghost or nothing in the room with you, right? That's the old school. This is the stuff that real deal. This in fact happens in real life. Kids nowadays that ain't never been exposed to that type of stuff, they will say, I'm saying in 2018, teenagers, oh, that's not real. Oh, yes, it is. These sort of men, in fact, walk amongst us, and yet you don't even know that they're there. The crimes they commit, even crime of passion, and them standing next to you in the grocery store. I said that how many times? I said that in one video when my mom was standing next to some guy and she felt something that didn't feel right, that he could be a murderer or something. They in fact walk around in grocery stores looking for their next victim. People such as a Michael Myers. That's what they do. They live in the backwoods, and yet some of them live in the city. I'm thinking the majority of them possibly live more in the city, which is why you possibly have a lot of individuals that say go missing and their crime is not solved or something. A Michael Myers could have did that sort of thing. Live in a either urban area, suburban area, rural area, and you don't even know he there. He might in fact be your next door neighbor, and you don't even know he's living right amongst you. That's a true story. Yeah, I don't like the newer movies. I like the ones, because if you're going to make a point, see, because to have, that's with anything, because sometimes I can get carried away of joking, but to make a point with a movie like this, as in to help children see that even this sort of thing take place, young children need to learn from this. It's not science fiction, right? Pertaining to a book and all the rest. How films get started in the first place. Usually books come before the film, right? And the film sometimes is different. The film is sometimes different, but children need to learn as in the experience of where not to go, when not to be out late, who to be around, who not to be around, right? But to put too much joking into a film such as this, a Halloween of all things, serial killers coming out with butcher knives and all this stuff, chasing people and all, that's to say you don't want to overdo the laughing aspect. And I was on the phone talking to my granny about that when I said, well, I don't like scary movies of today. They're too silly. They're too playful, because see, a child could be standing next to a serial killer or mass murderer and don't even know that it's happening or about to happen, because they think that sort of thing is playful. Somebody that's a grown man to watch a movie and say it's not in this format of the old school 1978 when Halloween first came out, that's when that movie came out. It's dated right here. Joe Carpenter, Halloween, right? And so this was serious. This taught us as children where not to go and where to stay away from. If a grown man with a butcher knife was to stand in the middle of the street and tell your young child, come here, come to me. Movies like this taught us not to go to him. Possibly get on the phone, go call police and everybody else, right? Possibly go call the military. Or what is it? No telling about me. I might call the headquarters even on that, right? FBI, whoever. But with kids, when they watch films and say it's too playful, such as it's got too many jokes and yet it's a movie like this, it's to say for them that sort of thing might be like unbelievable to them. They might in fact continue to walk up to that sort of man, which is how some children in fact end up dying in that sort of situation. That's why I think the films like this, they shouldn't, that's a no-go. You should in fact want to be scaring everything out of anybody that see certain films like this, because to think that's funny is to not run away, and there you go, as in you're being brutally murdered in the middle of the street for all eyes to see. And even the family wondering, well, how did that happen in the first place? As in him walking up to somebody, he should have the kid should have known not to walk up to somebody holding a butcher knife and everybody witness it. A parent will be saying, why would my child do that? As in not get away from him because he saw too many movies of them playing games or cracking jokes about say in a film like this, him thinking that was sweet and cute. To walk up on that type of man with a sickness, that's a mental sickness in itself. Just randomly going in somebody's house and killing them, and that you ain't got no animosity, but supposedly Michael Myers did. This individual with this butcher knife and him taking off his mask, supposedly he had an animosity, and that supposedly is his sister, so that's why he did that. But that's different than just being outside. Like those clowns, the killer clowns, and some of them was killing people and they didn't even know people. That's in fact say that's a mental illness, sickness, right? You would in fact want to get away from that. I'm saying if there's no, you got to have some type of reason to be just doing stuff to kill somebody, and not just walk around with a knife and then, laugh and then call kids over to you so you can butcher them, whether everybody sees or they don't see. You want to stay out of a territory of that. You do. I think this man right here is long dead. I might have to check into that, because he was the type of individual, you see that? The man done fell out the window. Let me go back. Michael Myers done fell out the window, hit the ground, and then when the police officer look outside, or the psychiatrist or whoever look out the window, Michael Myers is gone. Now you know that ain't real, and yet it could be. The man is gone. He's nowhere to be found right there. And yet he fell before. Those sort of people you want to you in fact want to run the other way from. Because there was supposedly a curse on the family, which is why this movie is set like this, as in the lay aspect. Not the layer aspect, as into why Michael Myers was doing everything, right? There was supposedly a curse on the family, as what has been said. So is it in a sense to say the curse of Michael Myers, as in how he was supplying a knife to himself and chasing after his sister. They got movie upon movie after movie after movie after movie after movie of Michael Myers trying to go after his sister after he done killed everybody else in the house, right? That's in fact considered a curse or something, right? I'm thinking it has to be a curse of mental illness, possibly. Because to do that, to try to kill a beloved sister, is to say why. 1978. And yet when I was a kid, I said that before, I used to love this movie. Well, still terrified of it even in today. I'm saying I won't sit and watch it if nobody's home. By myself, I won't. I'm trying to get to what did he go off? I think he went off right here because they accidentally let him out the hospital or something. Movies and behind the scenes and extras. Oh, that is just too much. Anybody on here remember Justin.tv? I used to like that. Where you would in fact be able to say watch not only full-length movies without getting a strike like YouTube likes to do. You will be able to sit and watch long-form movies, as in the full-length movie, and chat at the same time. That was Justin.tv. I think they also Justin.tv actually owned Vine too. Did they own Vine? Somebody comment in the comment section. I think they in fact was the owner and operators of Vine. I could be wrong. No, or was the hold on. Did they or did they not own Vine? Or was the owner and operators something? One of them, something pertaining, yeah, the operation outlet. The doctor is arguing with them about Michael's situation pertaining to his treatment and where he want him moved and all this other stuff. That's when he was a child. He had issues even back then, right? But Justin.tv, the reason why I like the Justin.tv, I remember watching stuff way back. Justin.tv, what year was that? I think that was 2011. I want to say 2011, I used to sit on there and watch Married with Children. I think it was Married with Children. Married with Children. You had cartoon movies. You had the Golden Girls. You had all type of movies like that on Justin.tv. Yeah, and then be chatting with people. That's a fun experience in itself, which is where technology in fact should go. I mean, YouTube is cool the way that they're doing something, and that's cool for them to provide the outlet of you being able to chat, say when somebody live stream and stuff like that. But I don't know, they should set that up on here as well, as even when you're looking at a video. I mean, there should be some type of, not live feed, but there should be something where there's a chat available or something. It should. As in when, like they used to do back in the day when we used to be on forums, and even when I used to be on the Janet Jackson forum way back in like 1997, 98. Yes, that far, even 1996 when I used to be on the Janet Jackson forum with the fans and all that other stuff. And Janet and her team of people used to come on there, as in all the people she worked with, such as her dancers and all that, and some of the kids she had working on the project with her, right? We would be like, everybody would in fact be on the forum, right? You had your own profile and stuff like that on there. And so with me saying that, the forum aspect of YouTube, they need to change this layout to make it more, not sophisticated, but kinda, where there's that side strip on the side up above where the videos sit on the far right corner, up above where I'm sitting at. There's all these videos where it say up next, and then you got a whole bunch of videos up under it, right? YouTube should change their layout and not make it like Justin.tv, but seeming Justin.tv is not coming back. They should have did that or something. That just seems right. Because the old school forum chat room format, that's what I'm trying to say, the chat room format that forums used to have, like the one I used to be on, the Janet Jackson with that .com, whatever. And so you would come into the forum, people will be talking, chatting, right? And then somewhere in that, everybody stopped talking, and then that's just that. Either the forum itself or whoever's running the chat could delete all the chats off, such as the messages, and say, once you come back in, whoever else come back in, it could be somebody new, then you let the screen roll again. Whoever keeps talking and replying back, that's gonna build the chat up, as in what you see, right? Do you get that? YouTube needs that. They need to have the video sit here as it does, but then somewhere on the far right corner there should be like a chat window that doesn't include live stream, and yet somebody might say something, and then somebody else might come and say something. Somebody else say something, and then on top of that, a person could in fact, whoever is the video creator of the video, just like Justin.tv, whoever's the video creator could in fact hold a chat conversation back and forth instead of doing it in the comment section. The comment section is fine, but that's dry. It's irrelevant to even me, which is why I had considered leaving in the beginning, because I'm like, man, this ain't the communication aspect is what I'm trying to say. I don't like that, the layout of YouTube. It's failure. It is. And I don't mean in a form of failure mindset, but halfway to how even when you lay out stuff, or do a layout on something to keep people coming back. Where is that? The chat box. There's a lot of things YouTube is in fact missing, and there's no congratulation on that. As in where I graduated in me being able to say my skills are setting up something. Because see, to get a conversation going is to get it to never stop, right? But there should be somewhere on this YouTube layout platform of, say, you're wanting to comment, leave a comment section as you will, and yet having a chat area somewhere if people want to continue talking, and not letting a comment just sit there, as in letting the screen roll or something, as in getting it going and keep flying off. Because some people, that's why sometimes people don't leave a comment, because they don't want their comment just sitting there, right? Some people don't even leave a comment because they don't want nobody coming back on their stuff. trying to talk to them and all that, hold a conversation, which is why sometimes comments is not there. That's in fact a fact. I do it myself sometimes too. But the chat box, that will fit so good. A chat box will fit so good on this. Because see, once you start chatting, it's to say enough people will start chatting on there. It will start booting the names off over time. As in nobody has to see that aspect. Something. Or a automated system that says how you have a trash bin and YouTube set up a layout right. I should in fact go work for YouTube myself. Setting up a layout, because see, to have a trash bin sitting behind the scenes of a YouTube is to say that could be involved as well, as in when you lay out a layout on YouTube and say move all this stuff on the right down and have a chat box there so people can communicate with one another. It's to say you can set up something like a trash bin that's on the Mac or something, and had an automated system automatically say remove the chats off of the actual chat window the very next day, or in a matter of days if somebody likes their privacy. Because everybody that's on YouTube, some of them don't like their privacy being out there, as in their information, which is why sometimes I said before they don't comment or leave comments, right? So to have that sort of thing is to say it is in fact workable. A layout in a chat window on YouTube. A computerized automated system would in fact remove all the chat information off in a day or a matter of days, depending on how the YouTube set it up itself, or even how allowing video creators to do that. How we do on a Mac. When I have my trash bin empty my trash over so many days, it could be 30 days. It could be, I don't know, if I want to set it a week from now to empty the trash. YouTube should be like that too. Emptying the trash of who was on the chat box after a week. That don't pose no security issues. It does and it doesn't. But I think that's a good enough idea in itself. Some people can't design either. I'm saying they wouldn't be able to think that far in the design of even where a chat box should be fitted. This is right here, the inside story of behind that, the movie itself. You can go on, just type in Halloween 1978 and you'll find everything. This video is in fact what I'm looking at with no sound is titled Halloween 1978 Halloween 1978 the inside story. Let me fast forward through this. Man, back in the day, children feared that. See how I'm standing like that? That's something you would not want to walk up to outside on the street. But yes, some people do. That's why they're dead. They did this film on a shoestring budget. I know what I need to do. I should compile a list of all the you know, I should compile a list of all the horror movies I done seen, some of the stuff I want to see and yet won't take the chance on that. As in how would that be fitting on this channel? I think that would in fact be a go-go. Not a stripper, no. A go-go, as in some old Halloween movies or old vintage movies that's in this format. The scary movies of when I seen, compile a list and do a review on that and possibly add sound in it. As in you being able to hear what I'm watching. Right? Or even me watching various scary movies, as in me doing a when you talk over a movie, because I'm doing that right now. You just don't know what's happening. I'm doing that right now where they in the industry, when you do a talk over, and I don't mean a voice over, but films actually include that as well, as in you can get a DVD. The film, you can be watching it on a DVD. Somebody come along and do a commentary, and they get the talking on top of the movie, and yet no sound is there. They just tell you what's taking place and why in the film. I'm doing that. You didn't even recognize that. To have a mute down is to say nothing is there, and yet nothing but my voice. They do this. Well, they used to do it back in the day. They still do today. Talk over on top of a film. But that would be fun and cool as well, to spice up my channel, as in me either playing the film with sound or playing it without sound, and then I just talk. I'm thinking that would in fact work, because if I play it with sound, then that's to say I'm gonna have to keep muting it and talking. So maybe this would in fact work. I didn't think that would work. I test out stuff, as in being inventive in the mind. When you invent your own stuff, invent in how you like to do stuff and why. Because to play a video such as even a JHOLIE MOUSSA, and say there's a news crew talking or something, or an interview being done in the news pertaining to even a child story like that, and say them talking, that's to say you gotta keep pausing it. Like, did you hear what they said? Did you hear this? Did you hear that? Right? Why can't I just do a talk over by just listening through my headphones and then just tell you what they said and let you see it as it's happening? Because to be pausing and stopping, no, I don't like that. I like to flow through stuff, as in go and get it done and over with. I do. But some people like to fill space all the way up, like I'm doing on this screen with this layout and everything being a mess everywhere, right? And it should. They like to hear what all is being said, and I understand that. Because it's truth, even that isn't a fact. You're being able to hear what's being stated on the screen, as somebody is, yes, standing here like myself. And yet, them talking sometimes get in the way of my thinking processes. That's why it would be best for me to have something muted down. It would. It's that's too much information coming in. Oh, I see Amityville Horror. Amityville Horror. That is strange in itself, because see, Justin.tv, back in the day, they used to have all type of films, and I can't even remember if they were made to take their films down. I can't remember that. If say Justin.tv, when you sat there and you watch full-blown movies as well as was able to chat, yes, up under the movies, I can't remember if they were allowed to let those film movies, the full movies, stay, whereas YouTube don't. YouTube don't get with that, right? In some instances I can't blame them, right? But if somebody bought the movie themselves, as in went out and purchased it by hand, or even got it online and purchased it, right? There's ways for that. As in, when you buy something out of your pocket, then you should, in fact, there's fair use with that. If I go out to a store and I buy something, or I get online at an online market such as an Amazon or wherever, and I purchase something and I upload it on a YouTube channel, then I can in fact do what I want to do with it. That's fair use. Some people don't know that. They'll say, well, YouTube and everybody else said that I can't upload a full movie. Yes, you can. You can upload anything and everything in which you bought with your own hard-earned money on a YouTube, despite them saying whatever. If they take it down, just re-upload it again, because you paid for it. That's common sense. A fair use law will tell you that sort of thing, and I know about that as well. It's pertaining to copyright, trademark, licensing, and all that other stuff. Licensing agreement. Fair use. How's a trade commission? How is a trade commission? Let me see something right quick. Oops. I got to be able to see. I'm wondering if that will come up with that. Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission pertaining to products and services. Didn't I just speak about that? Because see, when it comes to a lot of times when it's fair use, and say you have a universal picture such as the say when it comes to any type of rights or anything like that with these films and stuff like that, I mentioned the fair use as well as the Trade Commission. When it comes to product and services, the fair use, the Trade Commission, the FTC, right? It is in fact in interest of all consumers to prevent deceptive and unfair acts or practices, right? This can point in various directions of when I start speaking on that sort of thing. The fair use, because see, there should be no type of way where if you certain things in fact have to protect the consumer as well, because that's unfair marketing practices on the end of say a business corporation, of you buying something from them and then you're not being able to do what you want to do with it after you done bought it, which is why a fair use law has to be there. It does. See, well, you ain't gonna be able to see this, but the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, is an independent agency of the United States government established in 1914 by the Federal Trade Commission Act. Its principal mission is the promotion of consumer protection. You hear that? Consumer protection and the elimination and prevention of anti-competitive business practices, such as a coercive monopoly. Some people understand that, some people don't. But you can even delve more deeper to that when I said the fair use on a YouTube. That's not right. That's completely unfair, is what I'm trying to say. For somebody like a consumer, you or I, to buy this movie and have it on DVD format and want to build our channel, yes, based off the movies we have in our possessions, because some people are known to in fact buy a DVD or anything, a cassette, and then the cassette or whatever get damaged later on or it gets thrown away or something like that. Some people want to have a copy, and to have a YouTube account to say it's going to always be there, or maybe not, depending on if YouTube decides to shut down or even Google rids them off or out of the system, right? But that's to say you always have access even to your own movies if you want to start a channel and have all your movies there. No corporation can tell you to take it down, is what I'm trying to say. They can't do that sort of thing. That you're protected being a consumer by fair use. Fair use. There's a law for even you, the consumer, of what you can keep, as in your hands. Being a YouTube creator. That will be stupid and petty on the end of a corporation to say, well, come buy from us, knowing that you got a YouTube account, you want to upload it for everybody else to see it after you done bought it. Because remember, that movie ain't full, it's not in full length on YouTube to begin with, right? Which is why you would in fact put it there. And yet not everybody that's uploading these movies, not all of them are in fact the owners of the movie, which is why I can understand the standpoint of the corporation, and yet and still to buy something is to say it is in fact yours for the keeping. Because sometimes YouTube sometimes in fact mess up an experience. If I work for YouTube, they probably would hate me as well, because I would tell them that too. Well, why would you want YouTube creators on here and then they create stuff? It could be their own music and they're getting strikes. When I said I uploaded my own song, yeah, I uploaded my own song, my own music, because I do music too. I uploaded my own music and YouTube gave me a strike, and yet no cussing was there because my voice wasn't there. It was just all music and the sound of instrumental. I ain't no voice there, but it just sound like jazz. They gave me a strike. So I just want to strike back by even complaining about that. That's stupidity on the end of theirs, and yet it's how they got this algorithm and all the rest set up, the robot system. How you have a robot run something and not a man, and yet it took a man to set that up, the robot. The zeros and ones when it comes to computerize and possibly a timeout if something don't upload right. YouTube got to get it together with YouTube, because see, YouTube is in fact becoming a trash bin full of waste, I'm saying. Which is why they're trying to get rid of a lot of content creators, as the small content creators go whining and crying. They should in fact be celebrating that, having a party or something. And YouTube trying to get rid of the petty people, despite YouTube doing stupid stuff, as in the robot, right? To get rid of a whole bunch of stupid people is say there is in fact room enough for you to be yourself, as in to bring real content, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But some of these people be making stupid petty videos in which you and I, the viewer, possibly will never see and want to see. Even in hell, as in dying and going to hell. I wouldn't even want to see that in hell myself. That's funny, and yet it is. As in, it must be laughed at. Some of this stuff that people upload on YouTube, I would never want to see myself in hell. As in dying, going to hell and seeing it there. As in YouTube and the stupid stuff, the petty stuff on video. That in fact must be laughed at, because that's a joke I just made up on the spot. Like, why would I want to watch a reaction video or something, right? There ain't no fun in that. I mean, maybe it is, right? To each his own. Do what you do. If that's your world, then do that. I ain't speaking against, but I'm just saying, for me, that's not gonna work. I like to create stuff and not really watch other people, but I would if it's something informative. Now that I would sit and do. CC is on here somewhere. She probably fell asleep. He probably fell asleep. I can't make out whether CC is I think CC is a female. CC. Yeah, because I got a cousin named Coco. One and the same, like family. CC, Coco. Yeah. So I'm saying, even if that's what CC like to do, right? But I like stuff like the make-believe aspect is in a Hollywood, being drawn to Hollywood, but not the fashion aspect. I can't really get with that, but more so where you create your own stories, stuff like that. I'm saying with an actual film camera going out, not filming this, sitting here filming this, but going out somewhere, setting up a scene and all the rest, and filming it like it's a movie. That type of stuff I like. The backdrop, the behind the scenes, the picking up a camera and doing that, filming a house like that. Cause see, that's content. That right there, to show off a house is to say you're in fact doing content marketing in a sense. To show off something of each thing, such as say that photo above, that's content. That house you just seen, that chair, that's content. It's a photograph and yet it's content, cause it works a story. These blinds or whatever, shutter in the door, that's content. Him walking, her walking, that's content. That fits in with marketing too, as in if you was to sell a story for even a what's some luxurious places, or even not, Target, retail or wholesale, Costco, any of that type of stuff. If you was to work for them and you were to do photographs or something and print and try to sell, that's all content. I like content type of putting things together, even in the backdrop of say possibly filming. like filming this little girl or something with a real camera. And possibly even a boom mic. A boom mic. Not this type of mic, but when you're out on the set and you gotta film something, you need that boom mic there for a reason. That's all filming TV production. That's real stuff. That's more real than what I'm doing right here on this camera. And so I just pass on a lot of stupidity. I do stupid stuff myself, I do. As in laugh and crack jokes and these videos I'm making, right? But human is human. As in I can crack a joke and say something and not knowing I'm doing it, as in it comes in the wrong time and yet it can't be stopped. Because my thoughts when I think, my thoughts they go one way. It's almost like how you drive a car and you're going forward. That's how my thoughts move and when I'm talking. And so that's why when I say stuff, a lot of times I don't correct what I say in conversation. Unless I do a slip up, right? And it just needs to be fixed right then. But to be trying to find stuff to say and make it pretty how you say it, that type of stuff I can't really do. Because it messes up my thoughts and where I'm trying to go, as in talking. The direction. When you talk, you should in fact go forward when you're talking, not be going in reverse all the time. Because that messes up your thinking process. It messes up mine. To say, well, let me see. That man just brutally butchered her to death, and let me see how I'm going to say this real pretty so it makes sense without me making somebody mad. I can't do that. Because then I start losing what I'm going to say. So I just say it how I'm going to say it, right? Straightforward. Because my thoughts go straightforward. In a line. I thought there was some more scenes on here, but maybe not. I think I'm going to end this video out. This man was nuts. This man is nuts. Right here on this video. I have to keep checking my timer to see how much in I am on the video, because that will tell me when I upload this video how long it's going to take on the upload. That's a science as well. It's meaning to possibly not time out, because to have a video too long is to know it might stall when you upload it. Some people don't know that. You can outstretch a video in the timing, make it real long, and then when you go to upload it, it's too long that it starts timing out when you upload it. As in it stops and you have to upload it. One of my videos did that. I had to upload it 3 times just to get it to go through. It finally did, but still. Halloween 2. Laurie Strode, that was his sister. That's crazy. Imagine somebody in your family or somewhere, somebody you don't like, and sending this man to him to get rid of him. That would in fact have been Jolie's ex-boyfriend, as in you want to send somebody like this man over there to get involved. Maybe or maybe not. Dear mother. I'm saying her photo is sitting right there, as well as Oprah. But sending that man, Michael Myers, to somebody you hate to have him get involved to get rid of that person. I more likely would send Michael Myers to my grandmother's house when her mouth gets to get crazy. I should tell my mom that that's in fact a joke, and yet it's not, right? Sending Michael Myers to your grandmother because your grandmother, when she make you mad, she get to get carried away with her mouth. And so to tell her that over the phone, I'm going to send Michael Myers over there as possibly to make her mad. And possibly sleep with all the lights on in the middle of the night. And yeah, go to church on Sunday to pray about that sort of thing not happening. My grandma. She be making me mad. She know. I told her. Helps to be honest with family too. That doctor though. The doctor in this movie. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to make reviews on films. I said that already. But this doctor in this movie, he was actually not only looking for Michael after Michael escaped the hospital, he was look at that. The doctor too was chasing after Michael, which was in fact his job. But still, I'm thinking if I was him, I would have let that man alone. As in get a crew of people and involved and find him. I don't know. I think Michael Myers possibly should have been put to sleep or something. That's what you do with that sort of thing of Michael Myers, is have him put to sleep or something. And not be walking amongst you, because that's terrifying. That's how you know this is old. Look at that ambulance vehicle. How old it was. Look at this, and even the police car. That's vintage. 1981. I was about to say 1970. That's 1981. She was running for her life on that. I don't blame her. Oh, Jason too. Freddy Krueger. All of them. It's weird because it seemed like the older you get, when you a kid, you can't really take it, and yet you be excited to see it. But it seemed like the older you get, it's like you can't take those type of movies. Something in your body be thinking like, I can't take watching this. It's too much to swallow. That is crazy. You see her laying there, hold on. I think she was playing dead or something. Let me go back. I don't even think I would see how she laying there. I don't think I would even walk up. It's like she's almost comatose. How you get too much of something to somebody to knock them out, and yet they still wide awake. I think I remember this, that she was still woke. And she was just laying there faking to get away from him. That's what dogs do, don't they? Or certain pets, they lay and fake like they dead or half dead, and then when whoever walks away, and they're the prey, whoever walks away, they get up or something, right? That's off the hook. I would have not stood next to her. I wonder if the black girl died in the movie. When usually black folks, they die in the movies. In the scary movies. They the first one to die. That's a marketing tactic as well. Then you don't know that. Well, why do black folks die in scary movies? That's a marketing tactic as well. You know what that points to. Various things. Look at that. No junk in the trunk. I knew she was gonna die. Didn't I just say that? The black girl in the movie, as in how black folks get killed in scary movies, she's in fact dead. Look at her. She is dead. The black chick. That is crazy. That happens in almost all scary movies. Yes, it does. Michael Myers, I remember when Michael Myers used to be in that station wagon. It was like the station wagon. I think it had the wood on, or did it not have wood on the sides? But it reminded me of some old Brady Bunch type of station wagon. And then after you see movies like this, you would possibly try to stay away from those type of vehicles, because you don't know if he was sitting on the inside peeking out. That's in fact a clue too. It was a vehicle outside of our house that was a van that I kept trying to like tiptoe and not be close to, because I'm like, that van don't look right. I don't like when vans have just two windows and yet there's no other windows, as in it's just a van but there's back doors but there's no other side windows. They're like utility vehicles that people use for work purposes or other stuff like that. Utility vans or stuff. I don't like stuff like that. I'll be trying not to get close to those because they spooky. Don't know what's on the inside of them. And even sometimes police, FBI, even them have been known to sit in those type of utility vehicles. The vans I'm speaking on, they sit in those vehicles and record stuff pertaining to crime, or say when somebody has did something, such as killing somebody or something like that, and needing to go to jail. That's that station wagon. Didn't I just mention that? I just mentioned that. Everything I be mentioning be happening right after. That's the station wagon I just was talking on. That's in fact, yeah, that's not a family vehicle, but it reminds me of something the Brady Bunch would ride in, but that's in fact a city. I think that was a city because on the side of it, it has a logo right there on the actual passenger side and possibly on the driver's side of a logo of who the vehicle belongs to, and yet Michael Myers, he stole it. He stole it as his getaway car. That's crazy. These people be doing too much. I don't think I would ever play in a scary movie. I wouldn't. More than likely not. As it never be seen. And that be like Bruce Lee or Bruce Lee. Which one of them got killed? No. Or was it Jackie Chan? No, not Jackie Chan's son. Who was in fact got killed in real life while playing in one of these type of movies? Am I thinking about the wrong movie? I can see Gotham City as in a Batman and Joker. Possibly Robin. I don't know. And the actor that got killed on set. No, that ain't it. He didn't get killed on set. What am I talking about? These is the old school what's in it. I'm about to end this video out. I just wanted to go through some stuff. Internet is completely child's play. That's how when my mom said my dog, when he be pitter patter running through the house, he in fact sound like the dog. He in fact sound like Chucky when he runs through the house back and forth. Pitty 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 pitty. That's how his feet sound, just like Chucky. I'm trying to think of that doll that we had back in the 80s. I had myself, as many other individuals had. Her name was Cricket. Cricket the doll. She had a tape in the back of her back. You can drop a tape in her back and push play, and her mouth would move and she would sing whatever tape you put in there. I used to take my brother rap tapes full of filth. His cassette tapes would have rappers on it, like old school rappers back in the day, and I will put the tape in Cricket in her back and push play, and she will be rapping and all that other stuff. That's crazy. That's an invention in itself. I hope don't nobody come up with no idea to come up with a Biggie Smalls type of doll. Biggie Smalls, the rapper, Notorious B.I.G. I hope don't nobody come up with no idea off of what I just said. Inventing a Biggie Smalls type of doll. Yes. Inspired by Chucky or Cricket with a cassette tape in the back or something. Or even something pertaining to the iPod. USB. Where when you plug it in, the doll start rapping and all that like Biggie, and yet he start rapping other people's songs depending on what song you want him to sing, and yet it's Biggie's voice. That's crazy. It is. I be having all type of ideals. Cricket. I wonder who else have had Cricket. She was a cute doll, and yet she was. I think that's all to be said for now. I'm about to end out the video. I am. It was fun while it lasted. And yet not everything does. So, what is up with my screen? Shark Week. It's in fact Shark Week. I stated that how many times? We're on discovery.com. Discovery.com. Live now. You see that. Shark Week. It's in fact Shark Week all of the rest of the week. Shark Week began July 22nd. And here it is, July 24th. Time is ticking down real quick. It is. All this week, people are going to be partying and all that other stuff pertaining to a Shark Week. As in getting it started and going. And possibly even more. Unlocked episodes. You have Shaquille O'Neal, the man himself. He's sitting there. Shaq does Shark Week. There's a description for that. Shark Week. You can check this out once you come on discovery.com. Street Outlaws. Recommended for you. You see that there? That's in there. It's in fact for me, but it's for you as well. The viewer. Recommended for you. That includes shows that you might in fact want to see. Not might want to see, but actually do want to see. Should want to see. This is all recommended for you. On last night, it in fact tells you, yes, on last night. The Daily Bite, each one of these I stated before has a description. Exclusive video. It's not hard to make your way to discovery.com if you choose and try. And yet not everybody does. But that's to say even they are missing out on the goods. The mailing list down here at the bottom. There's in fact a join the mailing list right here. Sign up for. It's a newsletter. But I say mailing list because even that's still the same thing. A mailing list and a newsletter is in fact, yes, it is one of the same. It is. Because to be contacted like that is to say, hello, it's been sent by email. You just need to open it and then find out, oh, it's a newsletter. Yeah, but it was sent by mail. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I'll be back on another day. That's all to be said about that. I'm gone. I am.